All matters discussed during this show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation.
To boldly go where no man has gone before. It's Redneck Star Trek. Captain's log, Captain Clyde reporting while on routine patrol around Uranus. Shut up. We have been surprised by a fleet of Klingon ships.
Captain Clyde, the Klingons are hailing us.
Put it on the speaker. This here's Captain Clyde. Identify yourself.
Captain Krang from the Klingon Empire. We have you surrounded, Captain Clyde.
What you want? Our dilithium crystals?
No.
Well, I guess you want our secret transporter technology.
No, not that either.
Well, what is it you want?
We want your portfolio.
A portfolio? Red alert! Red alert! Captain, there's no need to worry about our portfolio falling into the hands of the Klingon. Why is that, Mr. Spooky? Because last time we were on Earth, we took our portfolio to David Ernest. Oh, yeah, that's right. So our portfolio is protected. What you think about that, Mr. Klingon?
Crushes, foiled again. Klingons out.
Man, it's a good thing we took our portfolio over to David Ernest. Yes, Captain, it was the logical thing to do. Not only is our portfolio safe from the Klingons, but our retirement is set up as well. You know, I think I'm going to call old David Ernest and see how our portfolio is a-doing. What's that number? 334-279-7431. Well, thank you there, Mr. Spooky. Now let me get back to filling out the captain's log, where I can tell him about the time we encountered Klingons around your... Don't do it, Captain. It's a cheap laugh. Yeah, I guess you're right. All right there, Mr. Hulu. Take us to Warp Drive.
Engaging Warp Drive, Captain.
That don't sound good. Man, this ship is a lemon. Should we call Mr. Skippy in engineering? It won't do no good. He'll just start whining about we got no power. Daggone. We interrupt this documentary about ducks to bring you a turkey. It's the Health and Wealth Show. From our super secret studios, it's the Health and Wealth Show, the 30-minute program that brings you good news about your money. Now, here's your host, the guru of greenbacks. It's David Ernest.
And welcome back to another Health and Wealth radio show. Rusty.
Yo.
Man, we are really reminiscing today.
Yes,
we are talking about Remember When, and we had you that skit on the front. That really brought back some memories.
You like that?
I loved it.
I tell you what, and you got all these younger people that really get into the Star Trek and everything.
I know.
You know, me and you, we were around when they ran the first time. We saw them brand new.
Brand spanking new.
I remember it used to come on at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening.
Yep.
And whatever I was doing, I would finish it up, and I would be in there to see my Star Trek. Yeah.
Had to see it. Spock, Captain Kirk, the Klingons, everybody. You know?
And they actually, this would have been in the 80s during the time I was at Y102, and they had a Star Trek convention, or they called it
it
was not a Comic-Con. I think that was before that. But
right.
It was, they just had like a science fiction thing.
Yeah.
And they had Mark Leonard came in. You know, he was Sarek. He was Spock's dad.
Spock's dad.
And I got to meet him and interview him.
Oh,
he was the nicest guy.
And
he had a picture of him and the lady who played Spock's mother. Her name escapes me at the moment. But he had a stack of pictures, and they were black and white, and he had one color one. He had one color picture. And he looked at me, and he looked at that, and he looked at the black and white ones and everything, and he signed the color one. And gave it to me. And I've got it somewhere. I have no idea where, but it's in the archive somewhere. But that's a good memory from.
Oh, it's a wonderful memory.
And they actually had a convention in Enterprise, Alabama.
Enterprise,
And
Alabama.
Sulu was there, and Scotty was there, and they were just amazed that they were in a town called Enterprise.
How about that?
They were thinking, how cool that was.
That was pre-thought, right? No.
It could have been.
Could have
Maybe
been.
that's where they got the name. I don't know.
Well, today, our show is called Remember When.
We remember when a lot.
Yes.
But it's because we're like,
Alan Jackson has a
Old
song
people.
called Remember
Yeah.
When,
he does.
And it's a good song. Mm-hmm. So this is mostly about baby boomers, remember when.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you dialed a rotary phone last?
No, I don't remember when I did it last, but I mean, that's what I remember when I was a kid, I don't think we had a phone till I was,
And if you did have a phone, it was like a community phone.
Party line, yeah.
Party line. You pick it up and they say, hey, I'm on the phone. Okay.
I was 5 or 6 years old before we had a phone, and I was thinking, when I was watching Green Acres, to have a phone on a pole.
Right. So we've come a long way with these things right here. Okay.
Yeah,
and matter of fact, I'm reading off one right now.
Do you know that's got more computing power in it than the first rocket that went to space?
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Smoking on airplanes.
I remember that.
I remember that.
I think I flew one time when you could smoke.
Looking something up in an encyclopedia, not one of these things. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Putting baseball cards in your bike spokes. Click, 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 click. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Eating Swanson TV dinners.
And those things had a lot of. I mean, the chicken one had like 3 big pieces of chicken in it.
I know, they were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Waiting for the milkman to deliver your milk.
Our milkman used to let us ride in the milk truck with him.
Yeah,
he would let us.
Pretty cool milkman.
He would take us up to the end of the road and back down again, and and he just lived behind us.
He's like the postman.
Yeah,
but he's the milkman. Seeing the TV channels sign off at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that on one of our shows about the silvery wings and all that stuff.
Yeah, the one down in Dothan, they would sign off at midnight, and then like at 12:02, they'd sign right back on. The guy that owned it was like a private owner. And he just liked the whole deal where they signed off, play the national anthem and everything.
Shopping at the 5 and 10 dime store.
Yes.
Not Walmart, the 5 and 10.
Oh, and you could get everything you needed as a kid.
Yeah.
There. They had little army men and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Talking to an operator on the phone. Operator.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song called Operator.
Jim Croce.
Yeah.
Operator, give me my pilot. Sarah, yes. Soak it, Sarah, soak it.
That.
Yes, and sometimes the operator was listening in, spying on you, You never knew when the operator was listening. Seeing billboards advertise tobacco.
I remember seeing
TV.
cigarette commercials on and there's something, I'll have to find it and bring it to you. Maybe I could get a little piece of it and put on the show here for television. There's actually a commercial with the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah?
And they're selling Winston cigarettes, and Fred and Barney's sitting by the house there smoking cigarettes.
Was the dinosaur smoking a cigarette?
Actually, Wilma was cutting the grass, and Fred and Barney
like Fred
smoking a Winston.
Yeah. Eating all kinds of weird jellos.
And they all taste the same, but they were different colors.
My wife still loves Jell-O. She has to have that Jell-O. Must be something with baby boomers.
Jell-O
she
good
loves
stuff.
Jell-O, but so do kids.
And you can always, it's friendly there. Hello,
Jell-O.
Yeah.
Watching the first season of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Those were the best Saturday Night Lives there were.
That's when it was, what was that? They were funny.
They were.
Yeah. Hey. I know you got some more stuff. We're going to reminisce some more.
Yeah.
But we've got to take a short break.
That's right.
And we'll reminisce some during the break.
And then we'll get to some serious stuff.
Yes. But you can call David at 279-7431. And maybe 20 years from now, you'll reminisce about, I remember when David helped me in my portfolio. I love him. He's so sweet. He's a lovely boy. And we'll be right back with more health and wealth right here on wherever we are.
Is your money working for you? Would you like higher returns with lower risks? David Ernest of Ernest Financial Retirement Rollovers has custom-tailored strategies. With over 30 years in the industry, let him help you achieve your dreams. Earnest Financial, where they are always earnest about your money. Visit retirewithernest.com or call 279-7431. That's 279-7431. Earnest Financial.
And welcome back to our Health and Wealth Radio Show. I'm David Ernest, and this is Rusty.
Remember when you
Keep it going.
broke your chin and smashed your shin.
I don't want to remember
How it hurt.
that. No, I don't want to remember that one.
Well,
I do remember when my brother's feet, his heel, got hooked up in the spokes of a bicycle.
Ow.
And he said it was my fault because he was riding the back and he got the whipping and I didn't.
Man, how many cuss
He
words?
keeps on remembering when that happened. He never lets me forget it.
How
It's
many-
like I owe him something.
How
And
many
he-
cuss words did he
a
invent
lot.
that day?
And he also said that you do remember when we used to share chewing gum? I said, yes. He said, you always gave me the smallest piece.
That's wrong.
And I said, yeah, that's because you were littler than me.
Oh,
no,
well,
smaller.
that
whatever.
makes sense.
Yes.
We were
I was
talking,
trying to be fair in a racial kind of way.
We're talking about this during the break and the movies.
Yes.
I remember the first time I ever went to a walk-in theater. We always went to the movies, but we went to the drive-in theater. And I'm thinking we probably went to the Prattmont over there in Prattville because that's right out
That
there.
sounds
near,
like a Prattville name there.
out there near where we live.
Yeah, Prattville.
And I remember the first movie we went to see, my cousins had all been to see Blazing Saddles.
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
And they told Daddy about it. Well, Daddy decides he's going to take us all. And I'm like, this is 72.
Right.
I was like 11. And my brother was like 6. So he's taking us. We're going to go see Blazing Saddles. And somehow or another, he bought the tickets and everything. And this place was packed.
Yeah.
And we got in the wrong line and actually went into the wrong theater and saw Terrence Stamp in My Name Is Nobody. You know, the one where he's got his saddle up on his shoulder and he lets go of it, pulls out his gun, sticks it in the guy's face, cocks it, uncocks it, puts it back, and catches the saddle before it falls. It's hilarious.
I don't remember. That sounds funny.
And who else was in there? Henry Fonda was in there.
Oh, well, that was a popular
it was,
star.
I think that was one of them there Italian westerns.
Oh, the Spaghettiers.
Oh yeah,
Spaghettis.
and that's a funny show. But that was the first time I ever went to a walk-in theater.
Yeah. Well, you see, you remember when.
I remember.
Do you remember when you had to look up the phone number in a phone book?
Yes,
Was it that?
it was a pain in the neck.
Yeah. Hey, I got another one.
What?
Do you remember when you had to put foil on the television antenna for it to work?
It would help a lot if you
Hey,
put that foil
people
on.
say, "What are you doing that for?" It reminded me of my favorite Martian kind of thing. You know, I think he had to put some foil on his antennas. Do you remember riding a banana?
Riding a banana.
A banana seat.
Yes, I had a Western Flyer bike with
Western Auto.
with the big old
I had one of those.
handlebars
Yes.
and the banana seat.
And a banana. Banana.
And it was purple.
No.
Had a purple
Tell
bicycle.
me it wasn't.
Oh, it was. I had
You
me
was riding on a purple. We were drinking a purple drink
I
with
got me a red flag and put on the back
that's
of it
cool,
too
man.
with that big long thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you remember listening to transistor radios?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't that something? I mean, you couldn't carry the big radios; they're too big.
And you might shake some of the tubes loose. You know?
Yeah. Do you remember being in line when you were trying to get gas in the 70s and they didn't hardly have any gas in the 70s?
Yes, and I
that?
remember it had gotten to the ridiculous price of about 49 cents a
Now,
gallon.
that was bad.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was just. Do you remember when you had to use a typewriter to type things?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Now those are just antiques.
Yeah, I actually have. Somebody brought me one, and it's an old manual Smith Corona. And
Yeah.
it's old timey looking, and I've got it put up in the closet.
So when you go to, I've been asking a question. I don't really know the answer. And you guys could probably tell me. You know, you used to take typing in high school.
I took
one day. I took one day.
I took it. I took
It
it
didn't
for
work out.
the whole year. I think.
So what do you call it now? Clicking?
I don't know what you call it now.
I don't know either. I mean, it's probably called computer lab or something.
Probably.
Do you actually remember when you did eat Spam?
I love
didn't come in
Spam
a-
now. That's some good stuff.
You know, my father-in-law, before he died, he wouldn't eat any Spam. He said that when he was in World War II, that's all they eat. They fried it, they baked it, they made it into casseroles and everything. He said, I ain't eating no more beep, beep, beep Spam.
Well, you know what Spam stands for, don't you?
No.
Something posing as meat.
But I
it's-
think it must be,
I like Spam. It's good stuff.
even though you don't know exactly what it is.
It's pork shoulder, man.
Oh, yeah. Might be a little bit of it.
Yeah, well, maybe further back.
And some more stuff.
Further back toward the curly part back
Yeah.
there. I'm not sure.
Do you remember when men didn't have long hair? They had flat tops and things like that.
Yes.
And then they started to grow in the long hair in the 70s, and people say, them old men would say, them are long hairs.
them hippies
Yeah, hippie. I don't
They
want to get
probably
on like them long
sitting
hairs.
around there singing them protest songs.
No, we don't want any of
bad
them.
mouthing your government. You know.
Yeah.
I used to have long hair. I had a ponytail.
I had some long hair. Mine was like stuck out in like a fro looking thing.
Well, when I didn't have mine pulled back, it stuck out, and I was doing the Comedy Zone one night, and I had it down. It was all like that, and I said, I know what y'all thinking. When did that Manson boy get out? Because it looked it did. It was
Yeah,
bad.
I didn't mean to tell you. It did look kind of like. Oh, do you remember when you had to use the knob on the television to change the channel?
I was the remote control for
Oh, you
several
were?
years. Yeah.
Yes. And using a payphone to dial, call somebody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the phone books, phone booths, I mean.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember riding in a station wagon that had wood on the side? Mm-hmm. Paneled wagons.
Yep.
Do you remember looking through something called a Sears and Roebuck catalog?
That was a big doings now. 'Cause
Yeah.
they sent one out every year. Well, a couple times, but the one right before Christmas was the Wish Book.
Yes.
And you'd go through and you'd take your
I
little
know a
piece
lot of guys loved the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
Yeah, now there was. We'll have to remember this when we come back, but we're going to take a short break and go away. But don't you go away, because we'll be back.
And we're going to talk about your money on the tail end of this.
Yes, we will. 279-7431 if you want to call David Ernest. And we'll be back with more health and wealth in just mere moment.
Is your money working for you? Would you like higher returns with lower risks? David Ernest of Ernest Financial Retirement Rollovers has custom-tailored strategies. With over 30 years in the industry, let him help you achieve your dreams. Ernest Financial, where they are always earnest about your money. Visit retirewithernest.com or call 279-7431. That's 279-7431. Ernest Financial.
And welcome back to another Health and Wealth radio show. And what was you laughing at?
We were talking about mortality. We were talking about
mortality. That's not funny.
Well, no, but Willie's got a song, and I didn't wake up dead again today. So I always, when I wake up, I'm thinking, thanks, Willie.
And you don't want to wake up dead any day.
No.
Because if you wake up and your portfolio has bottomed out or didn't do what you wanted to do, you say, hey, she says, the wife or the husband says, hey, we need some money to put into our bank account. Can you pull some of it out there? And you say, well, I would, but it's only half what it was worth yesterday. You don't really want that.
No, you don't want that.
No, you don't want that.
No.
You don't want that.
No, it's like Willie. You wake up dead.
It's just like waking up one day. Well, I was in the fourth grade. I was actually in the fourth grade. And they had the speakers just rattling. You know how the speakers on the wall were rattling?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. You know, these people were talking and everything. I said, what's going on? They said, well, they have shot the president. Shot the president.
Yes. Now, I think I was pretty young. I mean, I was way young.
Yeah, you were.
You're
a baby.
You're just a couple.
You don't remember that.
You're a couple years older than me. I do remember when Bobby Kennedy got shot.
Yeah, that was 1968.
Right, and that was almost along the same time when Martin Luther King was shot.
Yeah,
And
1968.
so all that happened within a
both got shot the same year.
all three of those happened within about 5 or 6 years of each other.
Kennedy, John Kennedy, shot in 63.
63. And
And I was about 7 to 8 years old. Yeah,
wow.
yeah, something like that. So I could remember.
But it was a pretty people were different about things then. I remember when I was a kid that we were at Hohenberg Elementary School, and they took all of us in the auditorium there, and they told us that the governor had died, and that was at that time that was Lurleen Wallace. And I mean, now something like that happens, I don't think kids would really know who the governor was or anything like that. It's just people just react to things different now.
So what we're talking about today is remember when. You can reminisce all this stuff, but do you remember when? We're going to talk about money now. Do you remember when
I had some money? Yep, I remember.
you had some money? You remember that?
I remember.
And this is literally the truth. Do you remember when you had a retirement plan and they said, "Do you have a pension plan where you work?" "Yes, I do." And you don't know what it's worth. You just know that when you retire, you're going to get X amount per month. That's all you cared about. And then you had this thing called Social Security or railroad retirement or something that goes with it, or you're putting some money away. And then you remember when the government said, or it's going to be more difficult to have these defined benefit plans. That's what a regular retirement plan was back in the good old days. There's still a few of them around. I think less than 12% out there. So now they say, well, guess what? We're going to do you a big favor.
Oh boy, thanks.
We're going to let you save your own money.
Huh?
How about that?
Oh,
You go,
okay.
Woo, that didn't sound good.
How do I do that? I'll tell you.
I thought you were saving the money for me because I was working for you.
Now, see, they pulled the rug out from under your feet and threw you
Yeah.
under the bus and pushed you off the cliff. But in spite of all that, all you have to do is call David Ernest, 279-7431. He'll pull you out from under that bus. He'll pull you back up on the cliff. What else did I say? Whatever else I
Sounded
said,
pretty
he'll
good to
help
me.
you out. He'll fix you up. 279-7431. Call David Ernest today.
So what most retirement plans now are what we call defined contributions. In other words, that's a fancy word for saying you're contributing to it.
Right.
And you define what you're going to put in there, okay? And you can't put but so much.
And sometimes, a lot of times, you work for a real good company, they will match what you put in
Exactly.
up to a certain
The
amount.
good ones will, but the bad ones don't. The good ones, like good bosses and good companies, they give you extra, bonuses and things like that. And that included in your 401k. They might match in that, or they might match in your 403b if you're in the hospital. I've noticed that most of the hospitals here in town have not matched in the last few years. Bad boys.
What you gonna do?
Bad boys, y'all need to call me, because listen, there's things inside your portfolio need fix. Jackson Hospital, Baptist Hospital, y'all listen, there's things that need to be fixed. They're taking advantage of your employees. I know what it is. Call me, I'll tell you. You can fix it. It won't cost you a penny. And you can be the hero. I don't need to be the hero. But here's the thing. 401ks, they can only be done if you have a job.
Yes.
IRAs, they can only be done if you have a job. Why? Because they have to be earned income. So can you save money if you don't make money? Well, if somebody gives you some money, you can save it, but you can't put it in a pension. You can put it in what we call non-qualifieds. Yes, you can. You can put it in a different kind of pension, okay? And we know how to do that. There's things that you could put it in, and it's not as reportable. It's very portable, but not as reportable. In other words, that's good if it's not being reported to the government. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't be reported to the government if you pulled it out and owed taxes, unless it's one of those tax-free ones, which we have, those two. And we have the ones that's called explosions of dollars.
I like that.
Well,
Explosions of
if you
dollars.
get sick or hurt or die, it doesn't help you if you die, but sick or hurt, it helps your family if you die.
Yes. It doesn't help your family if you die.
No.
but-
The program helps your family because you'd be dead.
Well, thank you, Bob, for dying. I feel
No, that's
so
not
much
good.
better.
What I'm trying to say is there's all kinds of different ways to help your family. Long-term care, it helps you there. That rhymed.
I like that.
Long-term care, it helps you there. There's plans with the state of Alabama. They're called companion plans where the state of Alabama will pay half of your expenses if you have long-term care plans.
You gave me the idea on something. Don't be square, get long-term care.
There you go.
You know, remember that.
Don't be square. Have your pension and your IRA and your monies and all that stuff work exponentially as though it was helping your long-term care. We know how to do that. There's programs that'll do that.
And you're thinking to yourself, how do I do that? What can I do? What? I'll tell you what to do. Call 279-7431. Talk to David Ernest. The man's a sucker for a good conversation. You might even get free lunch out of it.
Yeah.
279-7431. He will get your feet on the path to financial prosperity and well-being.
Yes,
that's what I was trying to.
Yes, well-being is a good thing.
They dropped the cue card over there. That's why I lost that.
Yeah, raise that cue card up a little bit. We can see what we're doing.
It's upside down.
Okay, that no help. You don't want your portfolio in your retirement upside down.
No.
You need to know what you got so you can turn it around and it works right when you can read it right. You want your portfolio to work for you. You want your portfolio to be there for you. You want your retirement plan to be there when you need it. You need your plan to be there when your family needs it. You don't need them to steal your plan. Did you know there's plans that steal all of your retirement? If you die, they don't give your wife or your children a dime. Did you know that? You need to know that these things
don't
exist.
want that plan.
No. And wife or husband, if you know that your spouse has that, call me. I'll say, hey, we can fix this. We can fix this. You say, well, I've got a company ABC over here that's doing it. They're doing it for you, yeah. It's just like the government's doing it for you.
That's what.
If you think that the government don't want your taxes, hey, well, Trump's in there. Okay, so he's lowered the taxes. How long do you think that's going to last? How long do you think that's going to last? It's all smoke and mirrors. We know there's debt out there. We know the government's got a lot of debt. We know it's got to be paid, and you need to be protected. When the rug gets pulled out from everybody, you need to not be standing on that rug. You need to be protected.
There might be debt, but don't give up yet. Call David Ernest at 279-7431. That's 279-7431. And you know, we got to go.
Yeah.
We have run out of time again.
It's been fun.
Just keep remembering when. We'll do this again sometime and maybe get you to send us some stuff
and you can send us some messages on Facebook, right?
There you can. We got to go, though.
Yeah.
See you next time on Health and Wealth with David Ernest.
All matters discussed during the show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation.